Welcome back to another wonderful episode of Lupus Has No Face, the podcast where we talk about real life, real struggles, and the power behind lupus and beyond. I'm your host, Savannah Burke, and we have our lovely guest, Miss Hyacinth, in the building tonight.
Hey, Savannah.
How you doing, love?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you for even making the time out of your busy schedule to even be on this platform. So that means a lot to me.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
No problem. So before we jump right into it, how was your ride on the way here?
My ride was quiet.
Quiet?
I usually ride quiet.
Okay.
I'm a quiet rider.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the music to tune out all the stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm quiet when I need to like focus.
Yeah.
But when I got it, I got to blast the music.
Yeah. I feel like I'm always around music. So the car, I just like, yeah.
Nothing's wrong with that.
And the car is always like a transition to me, like from one place to another. So I like to like clear my head and like just get ready for wherever I'm going next. So I'm a quiet rider.
Okay. So again, before we jump right into it. So I have this funny story today. You know, you guys, I like to tell stories. It was so freaking windy today. I posted earlier. When I tell you I was struggling to get out of my car, it was like me and the door was fighting.
Yeah.
Like me and the door was like, I had to put everything down and use my strength to open up the door, only to get out the door to get blown that way.
Welcome to Wisconsin, honey.
I said, this is a bottom.
Wasn't it 50 degrees just one of these other days?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm trying not to complain because I'm like, we got like happy, hot. Hot. I'm like, oh my God. Today was just, it just blew me today. I don't like the cold at all.
So me neither.
Don't like the cold. But, you know, we still got to get out and do what it is that we do. So for the people that do not know who this lovely, beautiful lady is, who's meeting you for the first time today, can you tell them a little bit about yourself?
So I'm Hyacinth Nembhardt, as advertised. I am a woman entrepreneur. I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. I've been an entrepreneur now since 2006. Mm-hmm. I started my first business called Concoctions, where we do specialty drinks that we made with and without alcohol to go. So think of it like a Starbucks, but instead of coffees, we do lemonades, margaritas, pina coladas, boba teas. We do coffees as well. We do hot chocolates, really fun, cutesy drinks, and you can get them with or without liquor. So that's on Brady Street, 1316 East Brady Street. We also do fruit bouquets and edible arrangements and, fun little gifts like that.
That's
chocolate
nice.
Covered treat things. And then Tropic is my second venture, which is 518 North Water Street, a Caribbean lounge. That's where you and I met.
I love it,
I had the pleasure of meeting you there. But there, it's all about the Jamaican vibes. It's a lounge. It's very mature, very, for the adults. And we just, we try to keep it classy. We have a lot of different events. This past Sunday, we did a paint and sip. This Thursday, tomorrow, we have a candles and mocktails. We usually do candles and cocktails, but because it's dry January, we're doing mocktails. Obviously, you can still come and get a cocktail, but it's candles and mocktails. And that's my, I look at it like I have two kids with my businesses. It's like
that's how it is.
Concoctions is my baby, and Tropic is like my
teenager.
Yes. Teenager. That's my teenager, yes.
Oh my God. So I was able to come to one of your I came to multiple events, but I came to that Kindle one that you had.
Yes, I remember.
Not too long ago. And that was so beautiful. Like, you have a lot of events that I wish most lounges or clubs have besides the normal thing that we go to, because I like to do something at least with substance.
Yeah.
So that was beautiful. And I like the fact that you can play games. But I didn't know that when I came here the first few times.
Yeah.
But I came there on a football night and you had dominoes.
Yeah.
I was like, what? So that was so exciting to me because we can be in this nice lounge, we can
Mhm.
have drinks, it's still music, but it's not overbearing,
Mhm.
and we're able to play table games.
Yeah.
So that is super, super dope. I'm sure other people have that, but I haven't seen that
Mhm.
yet. And your place is the first place that I've seen that in a club lounge.
Yeah, I never market our establishment as a club because it's not, like we don't charge a cover unless we have like some live entertainment or something like that. But it's really the no blasting music. That was something that was so important to me when I opened up this lounge, because there were so many times that I had gone out and I had conversations with people. It would be 4 or 5 of us sitting around, and literally all night I'd be like, I had no idea what we were talking about. I went home. I was thinking, like, what was that conversation? Because I was just nodding all night. They could have been like, I'm going to go blow up the U.S. Bank building. I'm like, because I could not take the blasting music, and I said, I can't be the only one that feels this way. So, yeah, of course, on a Friday, Saturday night after midnight, we might turn it up a little bit. But if you come in there on a Thursday night at 8 o'clock, honey, do not expect no twerking, no little dirking, no little punking.
Nothing.
I don't know, none of them little people, them little rappers, or what. It's not gonna happen. Like, we just keeping it. We grown.
That
So,
is so funny, but
yeah.
that is so dope. Like I love it. I
Thank
absolutely
you.
love it. So today I am honored to welcome you, like I said, for the people that do not know who you are. So for listeners meeting you for the first time, you told them that you have this amazing, cute tea. You can get a drink, you can get some tea. Is that kid friendly, by the way?
Yes.
And
Oh,
it's on British Street.
yes, and I can't believe I forget the most important part. We do kids slush and slime parties, which is a very unique thing. So, a few years ago, I was watching somebody's kids, and they had the slime.
Oh, wow.
And me being a single woman, my one and only child is an adult, so I'm not used to kids being around. I'm like, slime, wait a minute, like, what is that? So I just thought to myself, like, parents are allowing this slime into their
Very
home.
popular, yeah.
So at that
Mhm.
same time, I was also struggling. It was my first year on Brady Street, and I got to the winter season. It was like, um, sales wasn't selling. And you have to figure it out. And that's what I came up with. I was like, oh, we're gonna start doing kids slush and slime parties. And so the kids come in, we set up a big table, they have the slime, they have the glitter, the beads, all these things they put in it. And they make their little creations, they get slushies, they get a big tray with candy and Takis and a whole bunch of stuff on it. They can decorate their drink with that. Then we have the chalkboard wall. They write on it. They take the picture. We have the kid's name on there if it's a birthday. They get hot dogs, popcorn, and then it's like a little club. Honestly, the kids be in there turned up, honey. We be putting on Kids Bop, and they be in there having a time. It's a kids club.
I'm gonna have to come visit that because my daughter was obsessed with slime at one point.
Really?
Yes, but we had to go to Chicago.
Oh, they have that there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we had to go to Chicago. I never knew about one being actually here.
Yeah. Well,
so that's pretty dope.
There you go. I think it's pretty unique, and we take care of all the mess. If you don't want the kids to take the slime home, we tell them, hey, the slime stays here. But some parents say it's okay. We check with the parents first, but we clean up the mess. They make the mess, and you just go home when it's all said and done.
So if I wanted to just come in on a regular day, do it have to be a party, or can I just have an outing with one of my kids or one of whoever?
So you have to book it, a minimum of 5 kids, just because the amount of slime, it would only make sense for it to be 5 kids. But you do have to book it in advance because we do have to set up the table and certain things. But if it's a birthday party, we have cute little add-on packages like goodie bags that are slime themed. We have the balloons, the table decor. I mean, you could literally, we would set up everything and you just basically show up. The only thing we don't provide is the cake. We do provide ice cream. I forgot that. But we don't provide the cake. We do have cakes there for sale, little frozen cakes that we sell on a regular basis, but it's a little tiny thing. So most people just bring in their cake, and that's really all they bring.
That is super dope. I did not know that that's here, but it's a lot of gyms here in this city.
It is.
We just don't know about it. It's not being publicized, or you're not meeting the right people.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna come check that out because it sounds fun. Okay. So you live with several inflammations and scoliosis. Walk us through what a normal day looks like for you behind the scene.
Well, I just had surgery. I don't know if I told you that.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, this is my first day in a heel.
What?
Okay, y'all see that?
We are known for the exclusive. So what? Yeah. Okay.
I had a bone spur and plantar fasciitis for 7 years. I don't know how long I had the bone spur, but I had plantar fasciitis for 7 years. They kept telling me, do the roller ball, rest, go to physical therapy, did all those things, nothing. nothing helped. And it got so bad. I'd say like around this summer, it got really bad to the point where I couldn't walk. Like I would get up in the morning and I would be limping around. I would be in so much pain. I'd be crying. It would be so painful to the point I just could get back in bed. And I felt myself like slipping into this like depression behind this pain. And I was like, this is not right.
Right.
So I went to the doctor, and remember you and I had this conversation. You was like, yeah, we probably going to the doctor looking all nice and they think that you healthy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Honey, I took that advice. When I went back to the doctor, I looked like, listen, like I have been through the ringer.
No, you didn't.
I did. And I went in there looking raggedy, busted, and disgusted, which was exactly how I felt. And I just went in there and I was like, listen, I'm not taking no for an answer. They wanted to do cortisone shots. I looked at that x-ray and I saw the way that bone was sticking out of my heel. Oh. It literally looked like a tiger tooth sticking out the bottom of the heel of my foot. I said, listen, I'm not a doctor, but that tiger tooth, a cortisone shot is not going to fix that. Absolutely. I said, I need surgery. And they said, okay. So got the surgery the day before Thanksgiving, I think it was. Yeah. And surgery went really well. The my healing went really well.
It seems like that's fast.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to fast track it, but I was really good. Like the first 30 days, I didn't do anything. I was in the bed resting. I only would like go to the bathroom. I was on the crutches. I didn't work. But I am back working now. I mean, it is what it is, but I still have a little bit of pain, but
yeah,
it's still healing. But the wound looks great, and we go from there.
So it's tolerable now. Like you are in so much of a better mood because of that, correct?
Right now I'm still a little, it's messing with my mental a little bit, to be honest. Just because like now, if I stood up right now, like it's like a snowball. I got to prime this, like before I stand on it. So it's hard when you're so busy and you're so used to being able to move around the cabin freely. And now I'm like, or I'll have a good day and it'll feel good and I'll start going to work and then it'll start flaming up and I got to sit back down. So I'm just trying to manage to that and still be a good patient, because what I don't want is to, a setback. Yep.
No, and that's just so crazy that you have to go into these doctor's offices like that. They're trying to like get rid of that stigma, but that is exactly what it is that they do, and that's so unfair. It's a lot of things that they do that's so unfair, and I don't think I would have been privileged to that information if I wasn't in the healthcare field.
Oh yeah, you put me up on so much that night when we had that conversation.
That helped you.
Because I really would. It was some other things that you told me too, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
But before that, with just dealing with that pain every day, I was dealing with the plantar fasciitis. I feel inflammation. I don't know if it's like arthritis or like sometimes I feel it in my hands or in my arms in particular. Like when I wake up in the morning, everything just feels like it's just like on fire.
You could possibly have rheumatoid arthritis. That's something that you can get tested for and ask them. It comes sometimes, but most people have dramatic trauma like that to their body and stuff like that, and that will explain that feeling, but it can be something else too.
Is that hereditary?
It can be, yes.
Yeah, my dad had arthritis real bad. He's from Jamaican, and in the winter, he would just it was really like his arthritis was bad.
But it can be under control. I have RA too.
Okay.
Most people would suspect it. Most people would lupus have other autoimmune diseases. But when I tell you, I haven't experienced pain or inflammation or swelling in so long. I'm so thankful. But it took me long to get there because I had to try so many different things. And now I got my mixture, I say. And it's been working since then.
What's your mixture? What's your concoction?
So,
not pun intended.
No, inflammation is where it starts at anyway. So it's really what we eat. You have to be cautious on what you put in your body. You have to know your blood type.
I know my blood type.
And that tells us what we can and what we cannot eat. So if we're eating things that our blood type does not agree on or say we cannot eat, all we're doing is making ourselves sick. So if you're going to get your blood type, that's one thing that you're doing wrong. Sometimes medication can fast track it so you can be on a holistic thing, because I don't take no type of medication for it. But in the beginning, I was on prednisone. I was on gabapentin because that's a nerve pain pill. So I did do those things, but I was cutting down slowly. So I drink herbal tea. Which is inflammation and mucus tea. Haven't had any inflammation at all, and I normally wake up with like swollen hands, swollen ankles, and things of that nature. Haven't did it at all. So this tea has been like my go-to: tea, water, and rest. That's
water
it.
and rinse. Okay. I drink a lot of tea, but I'm a green tea, mint tea mix. I probably need to get something.
Something that's for
Yeah,
inflammation and
okay.
things of that nature. Be specific to your body.
Okay.
And I say give it about 6 weeks, and you'll know the difference. Like I used to be a
Okay.
coffee drinker to galores, and now it's just all tea. I'll have coffee here
Yeah,
and there,
yeah.
but tea, like once you're not in pain, it's like I ain't doing that. So
Yeah.
I
Oh
make
yeah.
sure I continue to do what it is that I'm
Yeah.
doing.
I mean, I
Yeah.
have no problem with tea. I grew up drinking tea. You know, the Jamaicans drink tea. We was 5 years old drinking tea. So you know, if you have listen, when you grow up Jamaican, tea is the answer. I don't care. You can have a headache, drink some tea. You can have a stomach ache, drink some tea. You got a gunshot wound, drink some tea.
Really?
Tea, yes.
You teaching me something.
Ginger. My daddy we used to grate the slice the ginger, the fresh ginger into the
Still,
tea.
yeah, still to this day.
I hate ginger. Because I was drinking that. Like, what 5-year-old is sitting around drinking ginger tea? So like now I hate ginger.
But did it work? The turmeric, ginger,
When?
garlic.
I'm sure it was working for my daddy because I was making it for him. But I don't drink ginger tea. But I do. I like ginger ale.
Ginger ale is good.
And I drink ginger ale.
Ginger ale is good. I like ginger ale too. Okay, so you built Tropic Lounge, of course, right? Such a powerful vision. What inspired you to create those businesses?
Well, Concoctions was born out of I was a new homeowner at the time. I was about 25 years old, and I was entertaining a lot at home. My parents were big entertainers, so once I became a homeowner, I was entertaining a lot, and I just wanted to make restaurant quality drinks at home. So I would watch all these shows on the Cooking Network, and I would get so excited and so inspired. And I'd go to the liquor store. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need some cassis. And they'd be like,
what?
Who? You need some what? And I'm like, cassis. It's blackberry currant liqueur. They'd be looking at me like, ma'am, you're in the wrong place. So I said, why are these liquor stores so, self-service? Like nobody can help you with anything. So Concoction started out as a liquor store, and we had a small bar inside that we did the drinks to go. So it was the same format that I have it now, but it was just a little tiny bar, like maybe, the width of this couch. And we did the drinks to go. And then we had the liquor store too. So that's how Concoction started.
Oh.
And then it just kind of morphed over the years. I ended up, listen, I was 26. I don't know who gave me some money to start a business at 26. I didn't know what I was doing. I was stupid. I was young and stupid, and I had a lot of passion, and I knew nothing. I knew absolutely nothing.
And that's what that's the courage that people need to start business. So you wasn't stupid, you was actually brave.
Yeah, that cost me.
At the time.
I paid for that. I paid for that mistake. But I learned a lot. I always say that was like my my entrepreneurship university. I learned everything not to do when I did that business. And then I kind of just I closed that location, and I started doing parties in people's houses. A lot of people wanted me to come and bartend there because they liked the drinks from the liquor store. So that's how that happened. Then I ended up approaching the East Town Association. I was a vendor at Jazz in the Park for 9 years. Then I got a drink truck, which is a whole nother story. But that was a test of faith, going to get that truck. I literally woke up one morning and I was like, I'm going to Chicago and getting this truck. And my mom was like, no, you're crazy. You're going down there by yourself. I said, yes, drop me off at Amtrak. I'm going right now today. And I went to Amtrak, and I got off the Amtrak, and I took the train. Then I took a bus. I was going to that truck. It was in Islip, Illinois.
I've never ever heard of that.
It's not nothing to see that. But that truck, when I tell you, by the grace of God, I got that truck back to Milwaukee. It cut off at me at the gas station. I had to take it back to the place. They fixed something, got on the freeway. And that truck, you ever had a car that if you took your foot off the gas, it was going to shut off on you?
No, but I've been in a car like that.
So imagine, like, I'm in Chicago on the Chicago freeway, rush hour traffic, trying to get back to Milwaukee, stuck. And I thought I knew if I took my foot off this gas that it was going to shut off. So I'm like very strategically trying to. And when I tell you, I was so scared. I will never forget that. I was in that big truck by myself. There was nothing in the back of it. So the aerodynamics, it was raining. So it was swaying back and forth on the freeway, and everybody was passing me up and blowing at me. They was mad because I was going all slow. My windshield wipers wasn't working. I was in there like this. I was so scared. And when I came home, I was so traumatized. And when I tell you, the gas gauge was broken. And I had been in the truck for so long. I was like, I gotta get to the gas station. I at least gotta make it to the Oasis. I went to the gas station and I couldn't, no gas would go in. You know, the gas rejects because it's full. The tank was full and I had come I was in the car for like 5 hours.
And the tank was full?
It was full. It was not, nothing was, and I said, how is this possible? And I was like, I don't know. I'm getting back on the road. I'm getting home. And I took it to my cousin's mechanic shop. And I was just like, I had such a spiritual moment in that truck with God that day. I remember just feeling like God was saying, I'm getting you home. Don't. And I was so scared. And it just, I thought it was just so many spiritual parallels, like the road of life and how we're all in a different lane and we go different speed limits, and some people might be going faster than you and your car might be broke down and you might not have all the, it was so many things going through my mind that day. And I was so attached to that truck for that reason for such a very long time. And it brought me a lot of joy. It was really great for my business. And then I still had the truck. I ended up going into I had a bar inside Upper Yard for about a year and a half, left there. And then I've stumbled across the location I'm at now on Brady Street because after I left Upper Yard, but right before I left Upper Yard, I found Tropic.
Okay.
And Tropic, if I'm being totally honest,
please do.
I was in a very dark place. And I went to the park one day and I was sitting I was laying down in the back seat of my car in a park over there on 91st and whatever that Greek Orthodox church is over there.
Okay, I know what you're talking
about. And I was laying down in the back seat of my car, and I can be very dramatic at times. And I was just crying. I was just like, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing here. I want out of this city. I'm going to leave. I'm going to get in this car right now, and I'm just going to drive, and I'm just out of here. And I went home, and I cried all night. And I woke up the next morning, and I cried again. I said, you know what, God? I'm going to lay in bed today, and I'm going to cry. And he said, no, you're not. He said, Google commercial properties for lease. And I'm literally in my bed, like arguing with God, like, no, I'm crying, crying today. And he said, no, Google commercial properties for lease. When I Googled commercial properties for lease, Tropic was the first thing that popped up.
No.
And I swear to God. Wow. And I right away called and everything just started happening. Like I remember my office at my house was a mess. It was in shambles because I was so depressed. I got up, I cleaned up the office. I started getting everything together. I'm like, nah, we about to do this. And I started building Tropic, and I sold my house because at the time we were still in COVID, and I knew no bank was going to give me a loan to start a restaurant bar in that, everybody was on lockdown. We couldn't do anything. So I was like, you know what? I had lived in my house for 10 years. I had a lot of equity. I was like, I'm going to sell this house. I'm going to move into an apartment. And I did that. I moved to the east side, moved downtown. And as I was building out Tropic, I would take Brady Street home every night because I lived on like East Lafayette. And I kept seeing this, there was a building right next to where I am now, but they wanted like $5,000 a month rent. I was like, oh, I can't do that. It was a little place right next door to this little tiny place. I was like, that place is perfect. And my agent was like, well, it's rented. I was like, it won't be for long. And she was like, how do you know? I was like, I know, I feel it. I just knew. There was somebody in the building. A business was in there. And I was like, no, that's mine. I'm gonna get that. Sure enough, maybe 4 months later, I saw that it was for rent. And I called my agent. I said, how much they want for that? She called me back. I was like, I want it. I did a letter of intent. And next thing you know, I was in there. And all while I was building Tropic, I had no idea where the money was coming from. I had just enough money to do what I needed to do at Tropic. So I didn't know where the funds were coming from. And I didn't care. I was just going to figure it out. And
obedient.
That was scary, and looking back on it, honestly, like looking back on it now, I don't know that I would do that today. I don't know that I would take that leap of faith again because it was hard. It was very hard to, it's hard enough opening one business. And you talk about the food business, you talking about expensive equipment, you talking about, licenses, you talking about health inspections. It's just, it was very overwhelming, but that was all God. That wasn't me. I was getting back a double portion for something that had happened to me. And I knew that, so I just had my hands out and I was just like, give it to me, God. And I'm
ready to receive it. Mm-hmm. So that brings me to, you was on Bar Rescue.
Yeah. What
episode was that?
Episode, season 9, episode 36. 6, I believe.
Season 9, episode 36. Y'all go check that out if y'all haven't checked that
It's
out
called
yet.
Tropical Storm.
Tropical Storm. How did that all come about? Because I was watching that. I was like, woo, woo, wow. It was so intense, but it was so beautiful at the same time. Because you can see the passion and the heart and all of those things in each clip. So how did you come about that?
So, a lot of people think that like I applied to be on there. I didn't. They called me. They were calling to the bar, leaving messages. They were writing me on social media. I wasn't responding. I was like, I don't want anything to do with this. Now, mind you, I love Bar Rescue. I've seen every episode. That was my teacher. Like as every night when I would come home from Tropic, like before I opened, when I was doing the build out, I would come home. I would watch Bar Rescue. I was taking notes. I was like, don't do that. Do this. It was almost like I manifested that into my life because I love that show so much, and I love John Taffer. I mean, he's from he's from the East Coast like me, tough guy, and I gravitate to people like that, So I was like, one day my daughter was like, Mom, they keep calling here, just call the lady back, because I guess she was just annoyed with them kept calling. So I called her. I said, listen, I'm not interested in giving, I'm 100% owner of my business. I'm not interested in giving up any equity, because in my mind, I was like, they're going to want a piece of this business, for doing the remodel on my business. And she was like, oh no, we don't do that. I said, so what do you want from me? And she was like, to be on the show. She was like, I said, well, send me whatever I need to sign, send it to me so I can read it, look it over, and I'll get back to you. And when I read the contract, it basically just said, we can humiliate you, embarrass you. Anything we find out about you can come up. Anything you say that's not necessarily when the cameras are up, because you're always mic'd up, and they were basically like, we could use anything to humiliate you, basically.
Oh,
so I needed a remodel. I had been in there a while, and I knew I had not made the best decisions, like aesthetically.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what? I didn't want to use any more of my money. I was like, I've already used enough. But I knew I needed that. And honestly, I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn from John Taffer. I wanted to have the exposure, obviously. And I wasn't worried about them coming in and finding nothing dirty, because I knew he wasn't dirty. So I wasn't worried about that. I knew, our issue was my daughter, me and my daughter, and the dynamic with the team that worked there, who were also her friends. These were the problems that I was having. And what they do is they come. Well, we did like several Zoom calls. It was several times where they interviewed me through Zoom, where they interviewed us collectively, or they just some of the team members. And then some of the producers come out, and it's maybe like 10 of them. And you have some of your team members there, and they split you all up, and they start talking to you about what's going on here, what's the problems, this, that, and the third. And then
like an investigation.
Yep. And then they come in. They come in, and it all happened so fast. It's like I'll never forget the day they came to town. I drove by Tropic, and I could not believe the production that they had. I'm talking trailers and trailers and trailers, and there's so many people involved in this. Like it would blow your mind if you saw like what was going on behind the scenes with all of that. But they come in, and you do your I met John Taffer when you guys saw me meeting John Taffer. So there is no talking to him, off to the side. There's no cohesion. They're not like, hey, we're gonna say this and we're gonna do that. It really is like, they must tell John, like, listen, her and her daughter, her and her staff, this is the problem. And he just came in, and obviously the day he's coming, but you don't know when he's walking through that door. And he walked in with Bobby Portis. Now that I did not know. They never told me that. So I was just like, no, please not. Because what they also do is they took all my pictures off the wall, because I had an artist in Jamaica do these paintings for me that were on the wall, and they couldn't get in touch with him in time to get his approval for those images to be shown on TV. So all my pictures off the wall, the place was just stark white. There was nothing there. I was like, we just looked busted. Okay. and I was ran into the ground, because I had literally like fired a team member earlier that day who was supposed to be part of the show, because she didn't, she knew we were doing the show, and then she decided the last minute she didn't want to do it. The production team was like, you don't have a team. Like, how are we gonna shoot anything? Like, I almost lost that opportunity because I had no staff. And so I was really going through it in my mind, like, where am I gonna, like, once they're gone, I don't have a team. And my daughter was pregnant at the time. She was about 8 months pregnant.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna be screwed. Like, even when this is all over, I'm not gonna have a staff, and I'm gonna be in here looking stupid. So John walks in with Bobby, and the rest is history. The rest is on the tape for y'all to see. But there is no scripting of that. You don't even talk to John. You do not talk to John Taffer if it's not on camera. And there was one time that, you know, he has a bodyguard. So you always know when John is coming, because the bodyguard comes first.
Wow.
And then he comes. And John's a big dude. You'd be surprised if he even has a bodyguard, but he's a really big guy. But he did pull me aside at one point, when after my daughter and I had the big blow up that everybody saw. He pulled me aside and he said, you have to stop leading with your heart.
So he had a little softness for you.
Oh yeah. I mean, he told me, he was like, I have a lot of respect for you. He was like, you know, it's very rare we come into a bar that has a cocktail program like this. And he's like, I see what you're trying to do here. And I was really nervous about, you know, you have no say in what they're going to.
Really?
No.
So you just gotta let them come in, do what they want to do. You have questions, you can't talk to them. So it's just, that has to be nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, for me, my type A personality, to notice something, you know, Tropic is Tropic because of my Jamaican heritage, you know, and my father has passed on. My father was an entrepreneur. I'm so created in my father's image that Tropic is my way of remembering him and honoring his legacy. So I didn't want that to go away. You know, I wanted it to still be a tropical theme, you know. And so when it's crazy, because in my mind, like the color scheme that they went through, I saw that all before I saw anything. And you don't see anything. We literally saw it when you guys saw it. You know, they're very, very strict about that. They, you know, you have to meet them in a parking lot, you know, somewhere else, and they put you in a car and they blindfold you and they take your phone. And yeah, it's a big, their whole production is very sophisticated. I was very impressed by
it. Sound intense too.
Yeah, but it was all worth it. I would, if I had to do it all over again, I would do it again.
That is so dope, and that's a blessing all at the same time, and it came where it was supposed to come.
Yeah, it was what I needed. And you know, they actually do teach you things too. So like people think that you know, they just give you this new bar, like, oh, go be great. When they were doing the remodel, they had us at a hotel training us. You know, training us on the drinks, because obviously, you know, they know we're going to be filmed when the people come in for the first time. Right. They don't want you standing there like, oh, what's that? You know, so you have to. And I learned a lot. You know, I thought I already knew a lot from my background in the bar industry, but I learned so much about just bar setup and efficiency and being quick and where things are supposed to be. And that's kind of like where I live in my head. I'm a very much like, if I get up right now to go in the next room, I'm looking at everything in here, like, what do I need to take with me so I don't have to make another trip? Like that's how my mind works. It's almost like a puzzle. So that was really just like elevating my experience in the industry. So I was very thankful for that experience.
That is so dope. And that's the important piece of always remaining a student.
Yes.
It's a lot of people out here that's doing great, but you can't tell them nothing, and that's where they lose at. You always got to remain a student. So that's so dope. I'm happy that you chose it and you didn't pass up on it.
Me too. You know, when they kept calling, I'm like, you know, this might be God knocking. You know, God ain't coming down to do nothing. He's using people, so let me let these people be used.
That's right.
Yeah,
that is so dope. Okay, how did you turn your personal pain into passion and purpose?
Personal pain into passion and purpose.
Are
you talking physical pain?
Yeah. Physical pain, emotional pain. How did you turn your
I mean, I think it's happening right now. So, you know, I'm sharing a lot more on social media, and, you know, it's never to hurt anybody or, you know, out anybody or anything like that. A lot of my podcast is going to be about telling my story. And it's, you know, even if I mention no names, Milwaukee's a small place. People aren't stupid. They're going to know. But for a long time, I've heard God speaking to me in my spirit, just saying like, use your voice, you know, and I trust you to tell the story, you know, and I think it's happening right now. Like, I really want people to understand entrepreneurship, because I think there's like this renaissance of entrepreneurship happening right now where everybody's an entrepreneur. God bless you. God bless you all. Okay. But let me tell you something. You have to understand what you're getting involved in. And if there is not a passion and a purpose behind what you're doing and a plan, forget about it. Because when you have those low days, when you make $0 or you take a loss some days, or, you know, friends turn on you, family turns on you, when all these things start to happen, you still have to find it somewhere in here to go. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people miss that. They just like, oh yeah, I like to cook. Great. Do you like to work all day? Do you like to clean bathrooms when your staff doesn't come in? You know, do you like to go home at the end of the night and cry because you have no idea what you're going to do now because you just got hit with a $5,000 tax bill or whatever? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like people have to really understand what this entrepreneurship game is about, because it is truly not a game. This is some real life, like, strategic things. And this is why I feel it's important that somebody has to tell the truth. Because I think so many people just see people with businesses and they think, oh, look, oh, she got a business, or, you know, she's traveling, or she looks nice, she dresses nice, and y'all think that that's it to it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not.
You never know what somebody is going through. You know what I'm saying? Just how illnesses don't have a look.
Yep.
You're not supposed to show what it is that you're actually going through. And people are there are a lot of followers out here, and people don't know who they are. So they can be around a group of people and be like, oh, well, she's doing this, so I want a business. So now everybody, like you said, want to be entrepreneurs. But you have to want to do it for yourself, because if you don't want to do it for yourself, it's going to show, and you're going to lose it, and you're going to lose everything that you put into it. Fortunately for you, you had a purpose behind why you did this, and you was not giving up. So you was taking losses, but you was elevating at the same time.
I mean, I still take losses. I still have things that come against me every single day. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of pressure. You have to have very tough skin. You know, when people start coming for you in them Google reviews, you know, and people are like, oh, well, don't take it personal. It is personal. This is my life. It is personal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody says. For me, my business is personal. So, you know, and I tell people all the time, before you, oh, yes, God, bring me some money, Lord. Me
too, don't forgive me.
I tell people all the time, I say, sorry, that's distracting over there. Janky promotions. I tell people all the time, before you say you want to do what I do, you have to ask yourself, or you want to have the business that I have, or do what I do. Are you willing to go through what I went through? Is the real question, because it's a hard road.
People don't understand that. They hear you talking and like, okay, I can do that. Okay, it's totally different being in the midst of everything that's falling apart, and you still got to go do X, Y, and Z.
And every family dynamic is different. Family is very important when you're building a business.
Oh my gosh!
You know, if you don't have the right support system, be prepared that your family is not going to be your number one supporters, because a lot of them deep down in their heart, they looking at, you know, you're reminding them of the bus that they never got on. And, you know, personal relationships, you know, I'm very passionate about that. For my single women out there, I strongly advise against getting involved in any type of personal relationship when you're trying to build a business with a man, with anybody.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to pivot a little bit. Why would you say that? So if somebody's just starting a business off ground, you don't think they should entertain a personal life?
No.
Oh,
no.
Okay, so let's hear it. Why do you think that?
It's a distraction. And when you're starting a business, you have to be totally mentally committed to that business. You have to be disciplined. Nobody's going to come in and say, Hyacinth, you need to stay up till 2:00 in the morning, finish this payroll, do these recipe cards, do your marketing. Oh, and guess what? Now you're tired. Now you don't have any time to cater to this man. And there's going to be a lot of resentment there. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to play into your mental. That's going to play into how far you think you can take it. And I only know because I've been there. I went through that. You know what I'm saying? And I just strongly advise against it. Now, if you're married and you're already in it with somebody, I'm not saying divorce your husband to start a business. That's not the point. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you lose a lot of personal relationships when you start businesses, friendships. And, you know, I would not advise that any single woman get wrapped up with any man until you have your business established. And then even still then, you got to proceed with caution. Because what happens is a lot of men see and view women in my position, for instance, either one or two things is going to happen. Either he's going to come in and he's going to resent you for either your long nights. In my case, and maybe it's not for all industries. Maybe if you're, if you're a seamstress or, you're at home making lipstick, I don't know.
Something with more controlled hours.
But I'm out late, I have to be hospitable. That is my job, is to entertain people and to make them feel welcome. And, I don't think a lot of men would want just the general public having free access to their woman like that. So there's that part. It's a very unique dynamic. And I just think that when you're starting a business, you have to be totally focused, even with friendships. A lot of your friends gonna think you acting funny or you being standoffish. And it's like, no, like me, I'm not worried about hurting anybody's feelings. I'm worried about letting down God, because I know that God gave me these businesses. You know what I'm saying? So my first priority is to God, to fulfill my destiny, not to pacify somebody's, what they have in their mind, the type of relationship they want to have with me.
Exactly.
Because trust me, a lot of people come in my life, like men and women come in my life thinking, oh, well, she's funny acting because I'm trying to this or that with her. And it's like, no, this is my first priority. Just like another woman, your husband might be your first priority. I can't take that away from you. Just don't take my business away from me either.
Exactly.
I'm just as committed to my business as somebody would be to their husband or their wife.
Accept me for who I am. But I can understand your view, and I can see that. And in my mind too, I always do like a balance.
Mhm.
Like sometimes a man can come in and he's settled and have everything going on, and he just wants to be an assistance to you. Or sometimes you meet vice versa. Or
Mhm.
sometimes you meet someone and you explain the situation to see if they can actually sustain that in a relationship. Most people say yeah, but most people can't, because they feelings and emotions get there. And then friends too. They don't respect boundaries. I feel like if people get out of their minds and stop making it about themselves, then a lot of things will go how it's supposed to go. You understand what I'm saying? And people always feel like you have the option to not when it is your business.
Yeah.
And
And sometimes you do, but a lot of times you don't. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I do have the freedom. Like today, I was working from home today. If I wanted to today, I could have done nothing. I could have sat around all day and scratch my watch and wind my ass if I wanted to. But again, it goes back to that discipline. How disciplined are you? So and then there's another kind of man who comes in and it's like they see your skill set and they want to insert that skill set for their agenda. I've been there too.
You just never know. Like you said, proceed with caution. Proceed with caution. Always go by actions, because actions will never lie to you. Words will. I'm gonna leave that at word. That's that.
Hard stop.
Yes. What keeps you motivated on the days when both businesses and body feels heavy? So when you're in pain and your business, things are not going right, what keeps you on a positive, motivated, straight, narrow line?
I mean, I think it's just the end game. You know what I'm saying? Like in my mind, I know that every little thing that I'm doing every day is, putting one little piece to complete the full vision. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, when I find myself getting in a place like in a rut where it's hard for me to find that little kickstart, I usually gravitate towards something that I get excited about. So for instance, for me, I'll find myself, I love planning the events. I love coming up with the idea. I love, putting people together, bringing everybody in to make like a really unique event. So I go to the activity that like spark something inside me.
Okay.
Like I can have 10 things to do. The thing I hate to do the most is when my accountant, shout out to Magnolia Tax Service, because they keep it on track. When they send me my little email with all the questions for the transactions that they need answers to, and when I see that email come up, like, oh my God, I don't want to go through the account and look for these transactions and what is it for, and remember who I sent the Apple Pay to and all. So I hate that part of my busy work, my job. So when I have stuff like that, I'll be like, okay, if I get that done, then I get to plan the next thing. So I just find whatever I think in my mind, and it like something jumps inside of me, like that's where I go. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's feeding me. That's what I get excited about.
You could tell because you just got excited now, the smile and
Yeah.
everything. Like I get to
like
reward
that.
myself
Yeah.
when I take care of my business. I can reward myself.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move on to identity and inner strength. How has your health journey changed the way you see yourself?
Ooh. Ouch. Oh man. You know, I'm trying to unsee my limpiness and this whole situation. Because the way I've been limping around lately, I've been thinking of my grandmother. Shout out to my grandmother. Hey, Nanny. I call my grandmother Nanny, but not allowed to call her grandma. But you know, she has a bad knee, and she kind of does that limp. And the other day, I was doing it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm my grandmother." And it's just like, you know, it makes you feel like, am I just getting old now? Because in my mind, I'm like 30. You know what I'm saying? So the health struggles do. Remember, I said, you know, it's like a depression thing where it takes a toll on you. You're like, is this my reality? Am I really gonna be limping around now? Like, am I ever gonna be normal again, or is this am I going on the decline now? Like, is it all downhill from here? You know, so it's hard to come to terms with dealing with your pain, but I think that's exactly what we have to do is deal with it, address it, get to the root of it, and just decide, like, you know, for me, this was a big wake-up call for me. Like, man, I got to be really healthy because I'm only getting older.
Yes.
So I think it does. I would be lying if I said that my physical pain has not played a part in like how I physically view myself. You know what I'm saying? Does that answer?
No, yeah, I do. And you also, just like how you see an end goal for your business, is the end goal for your health. You understand what I'm saying? And if you properly take care of yourself, majority of the time you will heal how you're supposed to heal. But you gotta go through like how you went through with the business. So you gotta go through with your health too. It's the same thing. But if you start doing things and speed tracking things, you can potentially mess up something else, or you can have a setback, and then you might have that limp. That you know what I'm saying?
Forever. What Cardi B say? Forever.
Oh my God. Then you might have to. So, you know, I always tell people, like, I know it's things that you don't want to do and you looking at yourself like that. But at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror, you still Hyacinth. You still are very beautiful. Your limp does not define you. It probably makes you uncomfortable. And it's like, oh my God. But the people that surround you that accept you for who you are, nothing is going to change. It's just all in your mind.
It is. Yeah.
So if you do have to live with a limp, you will be perfectly fine. Because it ain't taken away from nothing.
Yeah, they already making fun of me at the bar, calling me pimp limp, and like,
all love. That is funny. All love. What inner power did you discover that you didn't know that you had?
I always knew I had power.
Okay, come with it then. From what age?
Very early. I knew. I've always, like, nothing about me is a surprise to me.
That's dope.
Like, I've always known something, you know, like I knew I was different. I knew that there was something inside of me.
That's pretty dope because most people will never learn who they are. And sometimes it almost take a lifetime for people to know who they are. So I always love to give people their flowers for people that do know who they are. Because it's very few. They don't take the time out to listen to their body and explore themselves. Because if you don't know who you are, you can't tell other people who you are or how they even treat you. So you're lost for a very long time.
I always been like, if I even think back to myself as a child, like this person was that I was in there the whole time, you know? So I think for me, it's more so along the line in life, along the way, I just get confirmation of who I are. It's just like God just does something and he's like, yep, I told you. Or I'm like, yeah. That's me. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, that's not no arrogant thing. It's just like, I just know, you know,
and it's okay for you to stand on that. That's that confidence. But somebody around you that don't really care for you will take that as you bragging. So those are the people that you say you got to be careful with.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you protect your energy when people do not understand invisible illnesses? So you look so fly and well put together. But
thank you. Look at my yeah.
You do. But you're in pain. You know what I'm saying? And your pain may cause you to have an attitude or whatever the thing may be. And then goes with these whispers and things like that. How did that keep your mind set to a positive because you don't look like what you're actually going through?
The wires are crossing in my brain. I can't process this question. I'm being very honest with you.
Okay.
How
do you protect your energy when people do not understand your invisible illness?
Well, I guess I'm never really as someone who's often misunderstood, I'm not really expecting people to understand me ever.
Oh.
To be honest, if I'm being honest, I'm always more expecting people to misunderstand me than to understand me. Okay. So I'm quite often a person that I think that's why I'm so open, I'm so transparent, because I just want to tell people, hey, this is what it is, so you don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that I'm often misunderstood.
That's dope. That was perfect. Why do you believe it's important to talk openly about invisible struggles?
Because you can't see them. Somebody got to talk about them. I think it's important because so many people don't. And I understand why people don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very understanding person. I get it. A lot of times people, for a multitude of reasons, don't want to share, and that's okay. They don't have to. But I think that there's power in truth. I think that's how people connect with you.
For sure.
When you, I forget, what was I watching today? I was just watching something. I had this same epiphany, and I was like, see, this is why this is so somebody was crying. I see so many things that I can't remember, but I was watching something and the person was being vulnerable, and everybody was like, oh, like people are drawn to vulnerability because so many people are fake and phony and put up a front, and they're lying, and they're not who they are, and they're confused, and you know what I'm saying? So it's hard to, in this day and age, to get to anybody that's really genuine, because the truth is a lot of people just aren't genuine. No shade, that they don't even know, like you said, they don't know who they are. It's not even really their fault. But I just think in a world of people who don't know who they are and are hiding behind some facade of who they want to be, that I think when you feel anointed and blessed and okay with telling the truth, that I think that God likes truth.
Yeah, and that's dope, right? And for me, it's another side of it. I feel that it's a lot of broken people out here that wants to see this beautiful, well put lady. They want to see something that's not well put together, so they can be like, oh, but like, why do you got to see the darkness and the ugliness of me for you to be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Because some people are healed, live, striving, went through all the struggles, and it's for them to walk with confidence. But a lot of people, that intimidates a lot of people, which is so crazy to me. What message do you hope your story gives to women silently fighting their own battles?
What message do I get to women silently fighting their own battles? Stop being silent.
That's it.
Stop being silent. Be you.
Yeah.
Be you on purpose.
Because people gonna judge you whether you up or whether you down. Somebody's gonna always have something to say. Always have something to say. Okay, so I just implemented this for you because I feel like you were fun and you like playing games, and your bar was games, right? Yeah. So this is a fire fun rapid. So you gotta answer fast, right? Okay, y'all. So it's like a icebreaker, but it's really not. So all right, quickly answer only. One word that describes your journey.
Oh,
are you ready?
Like I'm like ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
One word that describes your journey.
No.
Fast.
Hard. Hard.
Okay. Coffee, tea, or cocktail?
Tea.
A self-care non-negotiable. What's a self-care that's non-negotiable that you have to have?
Baths.
Okay. A quote that you live by. Hurry up.
The difference between those who do and those who don't, or those who will and those who won't.
Hey, you. Yes.
No,
yes, you did.
What's the
That is dope. That you get a free book coming. But that was super, super dope because most people don't know that. They don't know them about themselves. So I did that, and it's fast answer because if you are already taking care of yourself, you should be able to answer just like this.
Yeah.
Unless you're an undecisive person like myself. Okay, so before we close, all right, do you want every listener battling unseen pain to know? What do you want every unseen listener that's battling pain today? What do you want them to know?
I want them to know that there's always purpose behind the pain.
It is.
And I want them to know that life is just a series of battles. So you got to learn to do it gracefully.
You do.
That's what I learned more than anything in these last couple of years is, I always said I wanted to enjoy my entrepreneurial journey. I'm so blessed to be in this position, even though some days it doesn't feel like it. Some days I'm like, what am I doing? Oh my God, like end this, decline. But I really wanted to enjoy the journey. So I think that it's important. I'm really teaching myself in this season of my life to be happy when it's working in my favor and even when it's not. Yeah. And of course it's easy to be happy when we're on the mountaintop, but can you be happy in the valley? Yeah. And so I think it's really important just to learn to be happy no matter what you're going through, because who wants to go through life miserable? And of course we're all human, we're going to feel pain, and that's just part of it. But I think we really have to learn how to manage to pain, not just physical pain, but the emotional pain. The physical pain, go to the doctor, advocate for yourself, listen to your body, do your research, talk to people who have been where you're at. But when it's to that unseen pain, you gotta take it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? There's always something good in it. I don't care anything painful that I've been through. I promise you, something good came out of it every time.
Absolutely. You just gotta open your mouth. Okay. So to everyone listening today, remind them where they can find you at, follow you, any upcoming events you got going on.
Oh, honey, we'll be here all day. Okay, so just go to tropicmke.com. All the events are there on the events tab. Tomorrow night, we got our candles and mocktails. We have later this month, we have a big women's networking event that we're doing with Corey Jo Biddle from oh Lord, don't let me get her the organization from MMAC. And then Angela Mallet from Honeybee Sage Wellness, who just opened a second location in the 3rd Ward. She has her first location on MLK Drive, doing big things. I love her. The city loves her. She has that beautiful tea shop. Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been there.
Oh, okay. Well, then you know about it. So
yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
okay. So she's going to be on the panel. I'll be on the panel. Corey's going to be moderating. My lawyer, I'm a big advocate of having a lawyer before you need one. So she's going to come to be a resource.
Yes.
They help me with all of my contracts, in the buildings that I'm in now. So, definitely a great resource. Lakeisha Leonard from BMO Harris Bank will be there. She's very knowledgeable. She knows everything, everybody, money wise, grant wise. Like somebody you need to be connected with. So that's going to be on January 29th. That's a Thursday. It's a free event. So I hope everybody comes out to that. It's called Ladies Level Up. So it's all about, women in entrepreneurship and business people, whether they want to start out, they're in it, they're looking to level up, scale up. That's what that event is all about.
That's so
and
dope.
Then we have, I'm doing a mix and sip at the end of this month. It's going to be mocktail related for those who are practicing sober. What is this called? Dry January. In case you want to continue that on, throughout the year and make some great mocktails. I'll be doing that. And then February, oh my gosh, we have so many events in February. Valentine's Day events. It's just, it blows my mind. You just have to go to the website for that.
Yes.
And then with Concoctions, I'm going to be doing some cute little stuff over there as well for Valentine's Day. So Tropic is tropicmke.com, 518 North Water Street. Concoctions is concoctionsmke.net, 1316 East Brady Street. And on socials, it's Concoctions MKE. And on socials for Tropic, it's Tropic on Water.
Y'all heard what she said. Go follow, like, and share, and subscribe. It's free. Okay. Thank you so much for coming, giving us your time. You was a lovely guest, bubbly like always. This is totally you. And somebody's going to look at this and you're going to help somebody. So keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate you. My team appreciate you. Tone, please do not forget to drop those links in the chat for people to go to her website and all the things that she's having. And you already know we're here every Wednesday at 6:30ish. Okay. So until next time.